Christina Koetsier. As you may know, I've recently launched a new series of world-class conversations about global initiatives for professional women. With this, I aim to bring you insight on what inspiring women bring for new solutions to the business arena. Recently, I've hosted the first world-class conversation with two fabulous entrepreneurs, experts, and professionals in the women's domain. Together with Corinne Heijn and Dr. Donna Hamlin, we have discussed our 3 initiatives. Dr. Donna Hamlin's Board Bonafide Global Register, Corinne Heijn's Powerful United Success, and my Geo Women Index for the most influential businesswoman in the world. In our deep conversation, we have looked at our motivation. What was the impulse that made us start this global initiative? We shared our vision. How can we harmonize the masculine and the feminine better in our economic world order? And we have looked at what the real solution of our initiatives is for the business arena. It has been great fun to see come out during our conversation true soul language as we use it in daily life on individual and organizational level. Please do enjoy, listen and learn, and I will give you notice from the next issue of this series. You can talk about United Success.
Yeah. United Success is all about women entrepreneurs throughout the world. So it's worldwide. Handpicked women, handpicked because their character is very important. They are credible. They want to pay it forward. They want to make a difference themselves, and they want the other woman to be successful. And I'm just passionate to support these women, to facilitate these women, to grow their businesses.
And these are established entrepreneurs, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yes, they're established entrepreneurs, and most women do business abroad, across borders.
Yeah.
How do you pick them?
Very good.
By hand.
By now I get lots of referrals because those women who already are part of the community of United Success feel the spirit, and you will recognize another woman who also has the spirit, say, of United Success. And it's about being honest with yourself and honest with the world. Mm-hmm. That's what it, more or less comes down to. So you can trust the other person. If you want to do business with, a woman in New York wants to do business with a woman in Brazil or in Shanghai, beforehand you want to know that you can trust the other person, and you know that the other woman wants your success. So that's really lowering the threshold to take up contact.
The idea of trust is really important.
Yeah.
One of the principles that we talk about in my work is that the currency for business is trust, social trust. And one of the issues that is in the way is that many people don't have that natural trust. So businesses that are trying to work together, or teams who are trying to work together, fail unless they're mature enough to understand that factor.
I can't agree more. And here comes another interesting angle. Everybody wants to do business on trust. If you now talk about business or deal with each other. If you then take a woman, in my view, the difference is for a woman it takes less time to trust the
another woman.
To trust another woman.
Yeah.
So it goes much quicker. And I've experienced, I think I've met about 1,000 women now around the world. So be it in India, or in Canada, or in Kenya, or in South Africa, Hong Kong. And it's, if you're non-judgmental and you you really, creating that safe space, then, gosh, I mean,
Anything can happen.
magic happens. And we're so gifted because when we leave the meeting, we dare to trust our intuition, which implies that we can say, hey, wait a minute, I don't, know enough yet, but I do know that I can trust this woman. And then combined with this other trait we happen to have, this nurturing trait, then we are truly supporting each other. That's my experience. Yeah. And we open up, and then we dare to show our vulnerability. So we enable ourselves to be helped.
So this is an important key for united success.
If it's the not just important, but I would say the essence. Yeah. And it's the one thing I can get emotional about because it's the part of my dream that has come true.
Yeah.
That the non-tangible has become tangible.
Yeah.
Having created a safe environment, that's the only thing I believe in. And of course, particularly because it's worldwide, so that you step into a safe environment. Because if you don't dare to share your true issues, then, you might as well call a Chamber of Commerce.
When did it become clear to you that it had to be a global initiative?
Clear is it's my craziness that I see the world as one, as a whole. Yeah. And there were quite some people said, Corinne, why don't you
start in the Netherlands?
Focus on a region. I said, I can't, and it might be my stubbornness, my true entrepreneurial, stubbornness, that I see this as a world initiative.
Or it may be an expression of you as a true globalist. What about you, Donna?
Well, the work that I've been doing is at the corporate governance level. And when the banks started collapsing and the shareholders and the stakeholders were irate about what was happening, I started looking at what's gone wrong here. And if you move back in time to when the governance model actually began, the assumption under that is that leaders of an organization are not the best to make the total decision. There should be a body of people that are around a table thinking about these things. And in fact, the old English word was to find people that were SAD, spelled S-A-A-D, which meant wise, not unhappy. And the growth of boards around that principle followed. But why were they failing at that inner wisdom that a team should create that would outsmart one person's thinking? So that was the motivation for us to look at, is there a way to improve the quality of decision making within a corporate environment? And since so many companies today are global, whether they even want to or not, they, because of the ease of the internet, are becoming global quickly. We said this has to be a global agenda to look at what is the way to increase the quality of thought and the delivery of value at the director table. And we came up with the idea of creating a way for people who wanted to serve on boards, whether they were qualified yet or not, to join a directory that we call Board Bonafide, where they would be screened for their qualifications, but we added to it, based on our research, what is their style of thinking when they want to solve a problem? And we found that there were 4 key styles. And so we use within that assessment a look at the styles of problem-solving orientation as a way to say, if we create a board around a table, it should have all those styles represented, because the tensile strength of the debate, if it's mixed, that diversity will increase the outcome.
And was that also the bridge to the emphasis on the female board directors?
No, not in the beginning, but because the world agenda is moving towards the definition of diversity at the board table, for other reasons, mind you, the business case of shareholder representation or customers and consumers as having a voice, a stakeholder voice as well, drove a lot of that. And it sort of came together all in one sweep. So it's a great time to be a woman right now because there's such a push for that.
I felt that all my life.
And because there's a gender initiative going on in Europe, there's one emerging in the Asian markets right now, some countries with sanctions around that. It's a good time to say, all right, if we've got to look at gender, we've got to look at ethnicity, we've got to look at competency sets, and we have to look at styles of thinking, let's do all of that with a prudence around what's the right combination that should sit around any given table.
Beautiful, beautiful.